What's up, Swig Squad? I'm eating again, y'all. Y'all probably like, that's why you so big. Big back. At least it's a salad this time, I guess, right? Good evening. Good evening, Swig Squad. I'm here to do my Married to Medicine review. Season 11. Reunion Part 2. I told y'all I got a multitask. Y'all having dinner with me again tonight. Good evening. Happy Thursday, Swig Squad. This is your girl T with the Diva. How y'all doing this evening? Those of you who want to come off the bushes. Shout out to Pepper. Pepper joined my membership. Y'all can join my membership, y'all. Y'all gonna get some extra lives and some extra videos and just more me. Like more get ready with me, shopping with me. Just, just everyday stuff. I got a 4-tier membership. My first tier is $199. Hello, Steven. Thank you for joining. My second tier is $299. Hey, Brian. My third tier. Thank you. Not my main account. My $199, $299, $399, and $699. $699. You might get some real good stuff for that one. More than just some videos and some live. Thank you, Brian. So I'm doing a review on Married to Medicine, Season 11. This is the part 2 of the reunion, guys. So as we start back up, Heavenly and Contessa are going at it. Can y'all hit the like button, please? Hey, Monica. Thank you for joining. Hey, girl. Heavenly and Contessa going at it. Heavenly tell Contessa she got a botched job on her breast. And you know what the messed up part about that is? So Contessa's mother had breast cancer. I think she passed away from breast cancer, allegedly. Don't quote me on that. But Contessa decided to get rid of all of her breast tissue and she got implants. Well, Dr. Heavenly said she had a botched job and the implants look horrible. I said, dang, doctor, and you know why she got the dang on breast. Why you got to do that? But y'all know how Heavenly is. Dr. Simone says that Heavenly says horrible things about people online. And Heavenly does go below the belt during her lives. That's why her friendships can't stay. because she will be a friend to someone, but then when she get asked a question while she's in her lives, she goes below the belt and starts, telling personal business and mentioning things about their marriage and, telling intimate things that friends shouldn't share with strangers. These people are strangers. They don't even know y'all. Why are you telling them personal business about your friends? So that's why Heavenly can't keep no friends. Because, hey, real life simulations, thank you for joining. So, Heavenly is a big instigator, and she don't care what she say about people in those lives. She just gonna let it rip. Her mouth have diarrhea, and she say all kind of stuff. She tell the people in the lives all the secrets that she's been told, all the intimate details of the friendship, and I wouldn't want to be her friend either. So Contessa said that she thought her and Heavenly had a good friendship, which they did. They really did. Thank you, Real Life Simulations. It is good too. They did have a good little thing going when they were friends, but of course, it Heavenly gonna mess it up every time. They do Sweet Tea and Dr. G's package. She says that she wants to normalize age gap dating. She wants to normalize younger women being with older men. She says that while she was trying to get pregnant, the show was, kind of taken on as stressful for her. While you're trying to get pregnant, especially if you're doing IVF, stress is the last thing you need because, it messes with your hormones. Stress can cause you to not reproduce. When you stressed and when you're dealing with stuff and things are heavy on your mind and heavy on your body, you can really suffer from that. So she says she's in the next stage of her IUI. I definitely hope they have a baby. I hope every woman that wants to get pregnant and have a child has a child. My heart goes out to any woman who has an issue bearing children. My heart goes out. Dr. G says that the cutoff for them to try to make a child naturally is 2 years. I guess he said he don't want to put her body through all of that. So he said that, I guess, once the 2 years is up and they haven't gotten pregnant, they gonna hire a surrogate or something like that. They're gonna go back to Dr. Jackie and go back to Shadina and Dr. Jackie. They got that whole IVF clinic where they hook up parents and candidates for IVF to try to, make them have a baby. Dr. Simone says that the thing that she doesn't like about age gap dating is you don't want to be 80 years old at your kid's high school graduation. And that's the truth. Nobody wants to be old. You kind of want to have your children at a younger age when you can kind of do all of the going to basketball practice and cheerleading practice and dance practice and all of this. You want to run back and forth with them, and you don't have to worry about you not being able to move accordingly with your children because age, Father Time done got to you. So That's all Dr. Simone was saying, that, she's against age gap dating because of instances like that. You become too old to participate in certain things. Sweet Tea says she just wants all women to experience being in a loving relationship where they have a man who protects, provides, and, treats them with respect. I said, oh, Sweet Tea, who you talking about? Because that sure ain't your situation. Your husband don't treat you with respect. The way we saw him talk to you, that sure don't look like no respect to us. So, Quiet had to put in her 2 cents. Andy asked her, so Quiet, you agree with that? And Quiet says, yeah, you shouldn't have a man who screams at you and dismisses you and talks to you disrespectfully and loud, and she went on and on and on a tangent. And Andy said, are you speaking of Dr. G? She said yes. Sweet Tea says, why you always worried about Gregory? She said, what? Girl, you got my leftovers. I don't want no Gregory. You always got his name in your mouth. Well, Sweet Tea, because he be showing his behind, and people be trying to take up for you and speak up for you, but you want to smooth it over and help try to make it sound good. But that man do not handle you with respect. He handles you disrespectfully, just like he is. That's the man he is. He does not think that women deserve respect. So he's going to speak disrespectfully to you, and you're going to think it's normal because that's who he is. So, Quad says, sweetheart, don't flatter yourself. She said this was a soft spot too. She said you done had to crawl in a man's DMs and promise him that you was going to give him a baby, and you still ain't made good on that. I said, dang, Quad, that hurt. Why you have to say that? You ain't have to say that to the lady. You crawled in his DM and gave him the impression that you was going, you could give him what he want, and what he wanted was a baby, and you can't even make good on that. That's what Quad told her. I said, ouch. First, Heavenly with the Dr. Contessa comment about Dr. Contessa breast, a botched job with her breast implants. Now, Quad, you talking about she can't have babies. Make it stop, Andy. Make it stop. She said she ain't made good on that yet. I said, Lord Jesus. So, Sweet Tea said, when she came to the show, she thought that, she will be welcome to a new group of respectful women who, are business owners or doctors or wives of doctors, and, could teach her something, were mature, and she could learn a lot from. But she said that, because of the X of it all and the situation with that, she said that unfortunately that hasn't been the case. So she hasn't been able to experience the mature side of the friendship. She told Quad said, you want to be just like me. She said, ugh, why would I want to be like you? You got I want two failed businesses. You done had two failed businesses and two DUIs. Quad said, I had two DUIs. So Andy says, that, that's a tough accusation to make against somebody. You know, has she really had DUIs? She said, well, I'll take that back. I'm just saying that she was definitely drunk that night that we had the couples retreat. So, quite like, okay, because she couldn't say she wasn't drunk. Thank you, baby. This salad, girl, it is good. It is so good. So she couldn't say, Quad couldn't say she wasn't drunk because Quad was high as Cooter Brown. So she said when we were on that trip, you were very drunk. So Quad couldn't argue that. Andy brought up the fact that Dr. G is not respected in the medical field. Somebody made a comment about Heavenly going below the belt when she was talking about Contessa's mother. And Heavenly said that she had said something about her mother. And Heavenly said she was retaliating. Heavenly, girl, quit lying, girl. She know good and well she started all that mess about that lady mama. That lady hadn't said nothing about your mama. And then she said, my mother, who has been dead since 2010 or however long she been dead. And Dr. Heavenly don't care because when Dr. Heavenly says your mama, she don't care about who your mama is. She don't care if she alive or not here no more. She doesn't care. She don't care if she blind out of one eye and can't see out the other one. She don't care if she handicapped and in a nursing home and on life support. She don't care. When she say your mama, that's what she mean. That's just something that them Florida people do. They just go below the belt. That's all. When they argue, and I guess all is fair in love and war. They show the commercial with the men. And they in the room just, they telling King that, him and Dr. G can reconcile and tell them how they can, make up and stuff. Dr. Mimi walks out. Dr. Mimi looks so pretty. Her hair was so beautiful. And I really like that dress she had on. And that color sits so well on her skin. I love Dr. Mimi's dress. And her hair. Everybody was complimenting her and stuff. So they talked about how when she first got introduced to the group, Dr. Jackie wanted her to talk to her friends. So she wanted her to counsel all of them. And Dr. Mimi said, ain't nobody in this group crazy. They don't need no counseling right now. Especially they don't need me. So they were saying how she didn't come with any preconceived notions. She gave everybody a chance. And she was real fair in coming to their friendship. She didn't say, oh, I heard about you. Hey, Karen. Thank you for joining. She didn't say, oh, I heard about you. And I heard you talk about people. And I heard you do this. And I heard you. So it was good that she came to the group and she naturally met everybody. Gave everybody a warm welcome and a fresh start. So she was able to spend individual time with each of them and, you know, kind of learn them. And later on in the show, she gave her little, you know, her little synopsis of everybody. They showed Dr. Jackie's montage with Vice President Kamala. So they showed her talking about women's health. How did she feel going to the White House? Because y'all remember last season, she talked to Kamala on the phone and they were able to record that. But this season, she actually took Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly to the White House with her. She was able to speak with Vice President in regards to women's health. My daughter know a little bit about this. My daughter has a nonprofit and it deals with women's health and pregnant women. And she has resources for pregnant women and just women just going through things during pregnancy. She has different resources for that. She has a nonprofit just for that. So they speak about you know, women passing away during childbirth, women not being taken seriously when they tell the doctors that they're hurting, that they're in pain, that they may have a disease or they may have something that they've heard about somebody else having that sounds like symptoms that they're dealing with. They're not serious when they say, they don't take women serious when they say, of course, baby, of course. Hurley and Harper. And they don't take women serious about postpartum. Oh, well, you just need a little time off. Go to the spa. Nothing's wrong. You're fine. Everything's good with the baby as long as your health is fine. The baby's health is fine. They don't take you seriously when you explain symptoms to them. Even if you're healthy and the baby is healthy, but you could have symptoms that could be leading up to postpartum depression. And, you know, Dr. Jackie just speaking about, you know, all of this. VP Harris was talking about how, as far as the women's rights being taken away with this, we don't even want to talk about this political climate. It's just too depressing and too heavy right now. But they are speaking about the, you know, they didn't know who would be the president at that time. But they're speaking about just the political climate and women's rights and how they are. I mean, just it's not. They don't want it to be any women's rights. They want men to be able to speak about women's rights, and women just be quiet and I guess live as women, because we can't give our opinion on what we think should happen with our bodies because I don't guess we're important. I don't know. They don't believe what we say. They think that they know more about our bodies than we do. I don't know. I ain't never seen it before. Dr. Andy. Andy asked contestant if she getting Botox. She said, yeah, she had to sneak it. He said, who get the most Botox, you or your husband? He asked her if Scott was getting more Botox than her. I said, Andy is messy boots. Andy messy. So when they asked Dr. Mimi, is she Dr. Mimi? Excuse my dog, y'all. I think she just Mimi. Maybe Dr. Mimi. He asked her to describe the women with one word. She said Jackie is intentional. She said quiet. She wants her to grieve it out. Heavenly, speak to your inner child. She told Heavenly to speak to her inner child because she believes that a lot of that anger comes from Heavenly's childhood and the way that she was not loved when she was a child. And she said for Dr. Simone, she did, Karen. She did. She seems like a really kind lady. Like, you know, she don't seem like the type that's going to, you know, have intentional shade for them. And you know how the girls can get nasty and Dr. Heavenly can get under the belt. Dr. Mimi don't seem like she's like that. She seems like she's a really positive person, which is definitely something they need in that group. She said, very classy, Karen, you right. She said Dr. Simone should be less rigid because Dr. Simone just screams. She doesn't talk to people. She just screams everything she wants to say. Everything comes out in a holler. Now, I'm a loud person myself. However, I'm not as bad as Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone she screams everything. Everything. No matter where they are, she just screaming. She told Toya, girl, you got it. Toya ain't have no complaints. Sweet Tea, she said we need to know how we can support you. How do we support you? Just let me know that. Contessa, she said you got a lot of energy. Put it where it's supposed to be. I hope Contessa was listening because she do. She got a lot of energy. Put it where it's supposed to be. So the husbands come out and Andy asked them if they could. Andy asked, Karen said, I don't see how she ever get her. I know, Karen. She just be screaming. That's all. Nobody ever gets her point because all she want to do is holler. Nobody knows what she's saying. Just like when her and Quad got into it. I'll get there though. But, so the men came out. Andy started off messy. Can King and Dr. G shake hands? That's a negative. They didn't even talk about shaking hands. That was so funny. They didn't even speak about it. They just went on as if nobody said anything. It was so funny. I died laughing. King said he doesn't have anything against Greg. I believe that. King's problem with Greg is the way that he talked to his girlfriend. Greg felt like, that's my ex-wife. I've always talked to her horribly. She's used to me talking to her horribly. King's thing was, you won't talk to her horribly in front of me. You will speak to her with respect. But Dr. G don't know nothing about that, King. Dr. G ain't never spoke to no woman with respect. He used to talk to your woman horrible. He talked to every woman he get with horrible. That's all he know. He's one of those men who feel like a woman shouldn't have a voice. Right, Karen? A woman shouldn't have a voice. And when men are talking, women should just be quiet and listen. And he's not going to get to the end of the conversation. You guys won't come to a resolve because he's going to head out. He does not know how to effectively communicate. He just has tantrums. He's a little man with a little man complex, and he communicates just like he is. You can tell if you were to talk to Dr. G on the phone and never see him. First of all, you can hear that he's short. You can hear. You on the phone with him, you can hear that he's not tall, worth nothing. And then as you guys move through conflict, you'll be able to tell that he has a short man complex. He has the short man complex. He feels like because I am a man, I'm serious, Karen. He feels like because I am a man and you are a woman, you will listen or you will mind. That's how he feels. You will mind me. So, Dr. G says that Dr. Damon's wife is disrespectful. And he is absolutely right. That is not a lie. Dr. Damon, your wife is horribly disrespectful. And Dr. Damon needs to talk to his wife about not just speaking to men, but speaking to people, period. Like, come on now. You gotta think of your people in a respectful way in order to speak to them respectfully and for them in turn to speak to you respectfully. Because we are never going to get anything out of our relationship or our friendship if every time we talking to each other we just disrespectful to each other, because that's all Dr. Heavenly do with a conversation is be disrespectful. Tone policing solves nothing. Melissa, thank you for joining. Greg and Damon, they I guess they were going back and forth because of their wives' comments and conversations. Dr. Damon says that Sweet Tea can say what she want to say about him because she don't know him. And he said that Dr. G was a coward because Dr. G wouldn't speak on his behalf. And he felt like as long as we've been friends, you can speak on my character. Integrity and respect is everything to me. And all I asked you was if I seemed like the type of man that would cheat. And Dr. G said, I don't know, I ain't with you all the time. Which I can see both sides, because Dr. G, I mean, speaking directly, no, you don't know. I don't know where you are all the time. But because you're my friend and I know your character, I'm able to stand on the fact that I don't think that you would cheat. I never feel like you would be the type of person that would cheat. If that's a rumor that came out about you, I can honestly say that I don't believe that that would be a true rumor speaking about you as my friend. But Dr. G, of course, you know, he is short man. They talked about the word. Remember when Dr. Heavenly tweeted something about a pedo, the pedo word. And Dr. Greg told Dr. Damon that that's damaging. That word is damaging, and it is. Hey, Brian. Dr. Damon said that you're right. That's a horrible word for somebody to say about you. And my wife was wrong for that. And I feel like Dr. Damon should have made her apologize. I feel like when Dr. Heavenly do stuff like that, and she go to the extreme like that, he should humble her and make her reach out to those people and apologize for what she did. She'll stop that. Because Dr. Heavenly does not want to be humbled at all with nobody. But Daddy, the only one who can make her apologize or humble herself. And she will stop that stuff. If he would make her correct that immediately, she will cut it out. But she did. She tweeted that Dr. G was the P word because he's dealing with Sweet Tea and she, however many years younger than him. Which, I just don't, I know to each his own. I just don't understand older men. Thank you, Miss Ronnie. I just don't get older men who really go for younger women like that. Because at some point, if you, the older man, have lived at all and have any sense, she's going to bore you. Of course, everything is beautiful and sitting up in her body and everything looks good. So the physical attributes are there. But once you cross that river and you come to the point of a man that you are, like, I just don't get how a younger woman, you 50, she 30, how is she emotionally stimulating you? She may have an old soul when it comes to movies and music and history, and she know a lot of the older people, or she's hung with a lot of older people, but she hasn't lived. And like when I was younger, it would just gross me out when older men would approach me, and I would be like, ugh, like, and I can see, okay, you might have a nice car that we can go ride in, and you may have some toys and have accomplished some things or whatnot, but that's going to bore me. And me wanting to go to the club or wanting to go to a concert or go see Jeezy, and you gonna be looking at me like, what is you, little girl, you going to see Jeezy? Yes, I'm going to see Jeezy. And I'm going to have a good time. But an older man is just not going to be able to relate to that. So I don't get that dynamic. It's not, other than the fact that, yeah, he can, in most cases, women, in all cases, women mature faster than men. But I also don't watch the show, so this could be, no, you're right, Asia. Women mature quicker than men, and men are very immature, but I just feel like they don't be as immature as 50 and 30. Like, they may be immature as in 50 and 40, but like 50 and 27 or 50 and 30, like that seems to me like a really big gap. Just to me. That's just to me. So, but Sweet Tea and Dr. G are going to last even longer than they really last because Sweet Tea has something to prove. And this is not even talking about babies and whatever the situation is. I feel like she is going to stay as long as she has to so that she's able to say that it prove everybody wrong, because nobody is like rooting for them. Everybody is thinking that it won't work, and she is going to prove everyone wrong and make sure that her marriage lasts and that they're happy. But she's not going to be happy. She's not going to let us know that she's not happy until she just can't handle it no more. Like, she's not going to let us know as soon as she gets to that point. It's not going to be oh, I can't take this. I thought I could do it. I can't. It's going to be yeah, this is my husband. And we're doing well. Yeah. So, but so Dr. G, so when Dr. Damon and Dr. G initially fell out, Dr. G was seeing some of Dr. Damon's patients. Dr. Damon has a recovery house or something like that. Dr. G is a psychiatrist. Hey, Legends Dispatching, thank you for joining. Dr. Damon, Dr. G has a he's a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist, I think. And Dr. G was seeing some of Dr. Damon's patients with the recovery. Dr. G was a part of the psychiatric part. So Dr. G, when they fell out, Dr. G called him and told him that I don't have the bandwidth to take your patients anymore. So they were having a dialogue about whether he stopped taking his patients because he was just mad at him, or did he really stop taking them because he didn't have, the capacity. It was just too large for him. Of course, Dr. G tried to make it, no, I seriously couldn't take his patients anymore. So Andy's asking, like, so why? Well, what had changed in your practice that you were taking his patients at first? There weren't any, it wasn't this huge influx of patients registering or anything. And then you just called him one day and said, hey, sir, I'm just done. I don't want to partner with you, and I'm done. I'm over this. So Dr. G says, well, that's what happened. I started to get overwhelmed, and it started to be a lot for me. Dr. G was lying like a mope. He was mad because they was beefing. They wasn't speaking. Dr. Damon's wife kept talking stuff. Hey, Yo-Yo. Entertainment you love, y'all. That's my mentor. Yo-Yo in the chat. Thank you for joining. And so Dr. G, I believe that he really did say, me and beefing, I'm about to just be, because what happened is when he cut his contract with Dr. Damon got a fine. I mean, even though he probably didn't have a problem, but Dr. Damon now has to find another psychiatrist for his patients to go to, because he got this recovery house. He has to have all of these specialists for these, patients to go to. And he's responsible for partnering with these people. So Dr. Damon was saying how it looked like it didn't look professional because he just quit in the middle of the agreement. So, um, they ended up apologizing to each other. Um, Dr. Damon is a very easygoing, mild, meek, cool type dude. He totally different from Dr. Heavenly. Um, so they talking about the couples trip and how the exes were on the trip, and they were talking about how Quad was just, I love my man, my man, my man. I love my man. So Curtis ends up saying, well, Quad was originally here, with nobody. When King wasn't here, y'all were here a year before her. And y'all were, Dr. G, you lit this sweet tea up and you told us how much you loved her and how good of a woman she was, and how great she complimented you, and how respectful she was, and how good she looked, and you said all these good things about her, and Quad just had to just sit around and listen to it. It wasn't no big deal because it was okay, because she didn't care. She didn't have a problem with that. And you, short man, got a problem with her big up in her man. So they said that it was all fine and well just last season, and Quad goes on. She's a good sport. She went on. She didn't complain. You were saying things about Sweet Tea, and she listened and she heard, and nothing happened. Nobody blew up. Nobody got mad. No arguments were had. Like, it was just regular, normal stuff. I said that's why they did that. They wanted to come on the show so that they can nana boo boo Quad. Dr. G wanted to come on the show with his new wife so he can rub his new young wife in Quad face, and she can look sad like she do on every trip because she the only single girl and everybody else got their couples. So Dr. G looking forward to this. And then it just backfired on them because now she talking about throwing X in a circle and dropping it like it's hot on her man, and how they bumping and grinding 15 and 16 times a day, and he about to blow a fuse. Seriously, sitting on that beach right next to his wife. He like, just ain't never say nothing like this about me. Yes. He was in his feelings. That's the only difference between this season and last season. Last season, Dr. G was very happy because he had his new wife and he could flaunt her in front of his ex-wife, and everybody can look at her and, oh my gosh, you look so lonely. Are you okay? Oh, are you sad because he's here with his wife? Like, it was all that. And he was so happy when that was going on. But even though Quad didn't care, Quad was like, I don't care. I didn't want the man when I had him. So Simone's screaming at Quad, talking about how she wasn't around. Quad said, Simone, like, well, we brought him in because she wasn't around, and she was barely coming around us. Quad said, no, the fact that y'all ushered them into my group is the problem. This is why the women are in the room. So while the men are on stage, the women, they tape the women in the room while they're watching the men do their interview. And Quad is just saying, it's just messed up that this is my group. These are my friends, even though you guys were his friends also. But you girls are my friends. But you ushered him and accepted his new wife with open arms. That seemed like it would have been a conflict of interest. Well, of course, Simone wanted to scream in quiet face. You wasn't there. You gave us your behind to kiss. You gave us your behind to kiss. You wasn't with us. You wasn't here. You were gone. You was not here. Screaming. Quad says, FUB. I said, oh, geez, Quad. Oh, my goodness. You're mad, girl. She said, FUB. She ain't never said that. She ain't never said nothing that harsh to Simone, like while they was arguing. She might say, I did not abandon you. Simone thing is always that Quad abandoned them. And she didn't want to be around them, and she didn't show them any respect, and she didn't tell them when she got into her relationship with King, and they didn't know about it at first and all of that. So Quad usually spends an ungodly amount of time trying to explain herself and let them know that it wasn't like that she wasn't trying to dismiss them or dodge them. She just wanted to make sure that the relationship was real. She just said that she didn't want to, go into anything, and she meet him and then introduce him to the crew, and then they not last. She just wanted to, just make sure it was sealed. Make sure that, because anything can go wrong at any time. You don't have any guarantees, but y'all was putting me off of trips, like when they went out of town and they had a meeting with Quad, told Quad to come to their room and told Quad, we don't want you on this trip no more. We want you to go home. When Phaedra first got on here, we want you to go home. You're not welcome on this trip no more because we don't like you. You don't have a bond with any of us. Quad said, wow, okay, I wasn't expecting this. But then you wanted her to come back, knock on your door, and say, Simone, here my new man. You want to meet my new man? I know y'all kicked me out the trip. I know y'all said y'all ain't want to be bothered with me, but I got a new man, so I wanted to come show you. Like, what did you think she was gonna do? What did you want her to do? I don't understand how you kicked her. Y'all, well, you was a spokesperson. The way Sweet Tea military skills kicked in, and Miss Ronnie said she ran on that beach after that. Oh, baby, she was gonna fight King. You see if she was gonna fight King? And you see how he walked up them stairs on her? After she was about to fight a whole grown man for you. Now you tell her to get out your face? I'm telling you. Dr. G couldn't get 5 minutes of my time. And he couldn't get a look from me at a red light. I would keep looking straight. I don't even see that little man. But back to Quad. I don't know what Simone thought. I don't know what Simone wants. Because 1 minute, you kick her off the island and you don't want to be bothered with her. And the next minute, she should have came clean and told you about her man. Why? I don't understand. Why would she? She was trying to throw him over her shoulder, Miss Ronnie. But Simone, why would Quad tell you anything about her updates? So Quad says, I went out of town with you looking for your daddy. When you couldn't find your daddy and you was worried, I got on a plane with you and went out of town with you. How you just don't forget about me and who I am? Simone start huffing and puffing, act like she don't bring up my daddy, don't talk about my daddy. So Simone just got mad. I don't think that, I don't know, this is just my observation. I think that Simone is jealous of Quad. A part of me thinks that Simone wants to be single and she do not want to be in that marriage. And the fact that Quad has a man and she is not tied down, so to speak. She's in something new, fresh, and it's vibrant and they getting it on all day. And I think Simone is a little jealous of that. I think Simone already talked about how she's in a sexless marriage and they don't do nothing. She don't even remember the last time they were physical. So I just feel like she's a little jelly. She a little jelly. And she's showing her colors. Because why else would you be screaming at the top of your lungs about Quad not bringing you King as soon as she met him? So she's supposed to bring him to you 2 days after they meet, after their second date, and say, Simone, I got a new boyfriend. I got a boyfriend now. Got a man that I think I'm gonna love forever. And forever we'll be together. No matter where he goes, I'll be thinking of him. Like, did you want her to, like, come to you and just sit there and pour into you about her new man and everything she loves about him? Because I wouldn't have thought you wanted that from her. You was acting like you ain't wanted to be your friend. So I would have just felt like, oh, she ain't interested. Yeah, I got a new man, but she don't care. She kicked me off the island. So I don't care what Simone say. I feel like Quad needs to go live her best life. And if her and Simone ain't gonna be friends no more, what you missing? She ain't missing nothing. What? Okay, Simone have another, what did they have? The Freaknik thing? The Freaknik party that they had? They didn't invite. No, I don't think that was it. It was something else. It was something else they didn't invite Quad to. Simone really turned up on crying. I think Toya is too, Miss Ronnie. Jealous of Quad. Because I feel like, I know for a fact Toya only with Eugene so she can get her labels and look good. She don't, and I mean, he her baby daddy. So, they gonna raise them little boys. But Toya jealous too. Toya and Simone. And I know for a fact, I think Simone probably a little more than Toya. Because I kind of want to say Toya and Eugene might, do the 10 toes up, 10 toes down dance a little more often than, because Simone already said, her and Cecil, she said that specifically what she said was, ain't nothing going on in our room. We ain't got nothing going on. We ain't doing nothing. I don't even remember the last time we did something. That's what she said. And when you can't remember the last time, I mean, they've been married 30 years. I don't know. Maybe after 30 years, it just... I ain't married 1 year, let alone 30. So, maybe when you married 30 years, it just... don't jump like it used to. I don't know, but I know that the way she act to me just says jealousy. Miss Ronnie, I'm just like, listen, I don't know. I know one thing. I wouldn't be quick to tell everybody. Why is you like, I wouldn't be broadcasting. Me and my husband don't do nothing. We don't never do nothing. Like, what? Is that something y'all happy about? I know, I know her husband don't want her to keep on saying that. And then everybody looking at him like, so you sitting over there with blue balls? I'm sure he ain't sitting over there with blue balls because, you know, he had him a girlfriend already. So he had to let that one go because everybody had found out about her. So I'm sure he's probably doing better with it now. So he probably ain't walking around with blue balls. He being satisfied. Simone just ain't. But hey, maybe that's the way she wanted. And it's okay for her to think that he ain't active because she ain't active. Because I know if that was me, I wouldn't be sitting around here thinking, oh, my husband ain't did nothing in years. Because he already know we ain't did nothing. So I know he ain't did nothing. I wouldn't be thinking like that. That's a man. And they don't go as long as we do. If you know what I mean. So she can go and brag about that mess. But I don't know. So yeah, that was part 2 of Married to Medicine. Next week is the 3rd and the last part. I do feel like they definitely could have made this 2 parts. I think they just stretched it. For whatever reason. I don't know why. But they stretched it to 3. I guess they trying to get all their viewership out of it or whatever. But yeah. We gotta see what's going on. What's gonna go on next week with Quad and Simone's argument. It doesn't look like there's gonna be any reconciliation in this season with them. And I say that because Simone is angry at Quad. Like Quad said, what do you have against me? Hey, Crystal. Thank you for joining. Like Quad said, what do you have against me, sweetheart? What is it? Because you got to know. Stevie Wonder could see. It's a problem. There is a problem there. The fact that everything is just about a beef and an argument every time. And every time they argue, she says the same thing. You gave us your behind the kiss. You gave us your behind the kiss. And it's like, I thought y'all said y'all forgave her. So she apologized for, you know, not coming around. And I mean, she's in a new relationship. She's trying to meet a new guy. So, you know, when you're in a new relationship, you spend a lot of time together. And, you know, that's natural. So I'm not sure what she expects. Like, what does an ideal relationship look like to Simone? what does an ideal quad is interacting with us, and I'm happy about the interaction. What does that look like? Because I think that this season, that, hey, Samillion, thank you for joining. I think that the way that Quad engaged with them this season was pretty, to me. I mean, she was at everything. She went on all the trips. She was interacting with everybody. I thought that that was pretty much, hey, cousin. My cousin is on here. Hello, cousin. You said you couldn't do these types of reality shows. And then you gotta smile and sit down, Miss Ronnie. You gotta eat lunch. You gotta eat dinner. You gotta go to the party. And you gotta sit down and kick it with these girls. Hey, cousin. My cousin just had a birthday, y'all. Tell my cousin Monica happy birthday. Yeah, you got on these shows. That's why I said, Miss Ronnie, I feel like they not real beefs. Like, these don't be no real beefs. This ain't no, just like you said, because in the real world, you don't just argue with somebody and then 2 days later, you about to be like, oh, we at the lunch. And we like, okay, girl, we cool. Everything good. Like, I don't care about you. Girl, we don't never gotta talk again. I don't never gotta be nowhere with you. So, that's why I feel like I don't think these real, like, bonds and relationships anyway. Mm-hmm. And then they be back friends with Heavenly. And then don't nobody call her out. And I be like, how is this okay? Like, how is this cool? Well, what's really going on? Like, she's just saying whatever she wants to say. Nobody's going to check her or try to make this right, or we going to ostracize ourselves from you if you don't learn how to talk to people or learn how to argue. Always talking about somebody mama. Yeah, see, Miss Ronnie, I don't see that it's authentic as far as these bonds go. That's why I say, I mean, and as long as Quad and Simone and them been hanging, I would have thought that they would have, the bond would have been stronger, because they've actually been through a lot. They've been through years of things, years of back and forth. And they just can't get right. Simone just can't, I guess she just can't forgive Quad. She can't see herself on the other side of that, because the reconciliation only lasts 2 outings, and then she right back hollering and screaming at Quad again. So I don't know what they gonna do. I mean, hey, they make a lot of money acting like they friends and falling out and getting back cool and falling out and getting back cool. So hey, maybe that's it. Maybe it's about the almighty dollar. Oh, y'all, it is almost 10 o'clock. Oh, it's been real. Time be flying when I be on this little thing. Man. Thank you, Yo-Yo. I'm so glad she talked me into doing this, because I used to hate this. I used to hate doing this thing. I like it now. I've actually enjoyed it. Thank you all. Y'all go join my membership so I can get some some people in it. Y'all have some. Thank you, Yo-Yo. I appreciate you, baby. Love it. I know you going live this evening too. You be going live late. You know I'm old. I just turned 50. I gotta be going to bed. Thank you. Yes, I got memberships. I just set them up. Yes, I did. Thank you. I'm trying, Yo-Yo. I'm trying. Thank you, Swig Squad. Thank everybody for joining. I really appreciate you all. Y'all go check my memberships out. And okay, I definitely will, Yo-Yo. Thanks. I will definitely be with y'all. You said you tired. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. Me too. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I will check y'all out tomorrow. Thank y'all all for joining. I really appreciate it. I will holler at y'all later. Tea with the Diva. And I'm out. Good evening.